court or something like that?
Yeah, so just for royalty.
Oh, yeah. Did Saddam Hussein wipe his ass with toilet paper? Or because correct me if I'm wrong, was it the new embassy they used Saddam's palace to make,
Yeah.
or like your camp was near it? Because I remember you were talking about how you had been there, you saw some of like the murals, and you took a picture next to like the Saddam statue head or something.
Yeah, he definitely wiped his ass with silk, and he didn't wipe it himself. He had somebody else wipe it for him.
As a true dictatorship.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here. So, I mean, by the time we got there, they had put a chow hall in and all this other. There's like they take a single bathroom that's the size of probably a 4,000 square foot house, put a bunch of urinals and stuff in there. So I didn't get to go see Saddam. The ambassador stayed in Saddam's old room. I never got to go in there and check that one out.
Wow. Okay. Was there ever a part of you that just like stood back in awe of just that? Like, because if you take a step back and think about that, like that was like the palace of a sitting dictator, the guy who killed, the Kurds with the gassings. He literally, this close to capturing Kuwait and controlling half the world's oil. It's like not like a world superpower, but it's still a big, like this is one of the great men of history, you could say. And here you are just like having chow and like taking pictures inside his palace or something like that.
It was awe-inspiring. Like walking through, coming from, starting to grow up in trailers and then crappy apartments and then you name it. Like going to a place like that where no expense was spared. It was like just looking up at the ceiling, I would just sit there and be like, this is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like it is the nicest stuff you've ever seen. And then you get outside of the green zone, and it is the exact opposite. It's like the slums.
Yeah. Okay. Were you in Iraq at the time when they ended up killing him or when they executed him?
No, I was not there when they executed him. I don't remember when that was, but I was.
Wasn't it like Christmas of '06 or something? It was. I think it was in the mid 2000s that they did it.
Yeah. So I was done with Blackwater. I was back home when they executed him. But the place we used to run with Blackwater for the regime crimes was always JSS Justice. Mm-hmm. And that's where all the high-value targets were at. Saddam Hussein was different. He was at Camp Victory.
Yeah.
But I got to go hang out in the gallows. And
really?
Yeah. And then when I went back as an Army officer, because God's got a sense of humor, I took over an intel team up at JSS Justice.
Wow.
And I got to go back there and see like the gallows and everything. Like I got pictures of it. I'll have to shoot you some, but it's crazy.
No, I'd love to see that. So the place that you were, like the actual camp, this was where they were keeping like actual war criminals that they were going to obviously execute or, take care of in some fashion or prosecute in some way?
Yeah, the prosecution was done. So it was a detention facility and like it was just, hey, now it's your turn to walk. So they walk up to the gallows and they had like the old hangman's thing where you pull it and the trap door would fall out from underneath.
Yeah.
And then they glued a mattress on the bottom of the trap door because when the metal would hit the metal early, it would get everybody all crazy right across the river at like Solder City.
So you could hear it that far away?
Yeah, you could, dude. It was apparently really loud. So
wow.
They had a mattress that was literally glued to the bottom of it to make it like less loud when they were hanging people.
Dude, that's insane. So did you actually witness the hangings or like actually see that stuff?
No. Oh. No, that was all like the detention facility and like the gallows and stuff was on the Iraqi side of it. So you were allowed to go in, like we would be able to drive in, drop off stuff. We could tour it, but at the end of the day, like walk into the building, there was like an office, big long office, and then there was a desk at the end, and that's where the judge would be sitting, and they'd be like, "Hey, you've been sentenced to death." And then you walk down the hallway. There was a little shower where they could shower. Scale where they'd weigh them to figure out how long the rope needed to be, and then they'd walk them into like this like a little viewing area, and pass that viewing area up the gallows, and then
man,
yeah.
Did you actually see ever interact or actually like see the people that were detained or the prisoners?
Yeah, actually, I got to see when I was there for the Army. I got to see Tariq Aziz, I think his name was, the guy with the little mustache.
Tariq Aziz. Let me
he had like a little mustache. He was there. He ended up not being hanged, but he was very like. You'll see him. He's a short guy. He's got a mustache, and he was out, and they had them all in this cage. Might have been like a 20 by 10 foot cage where they could go and exercise, and he was there.
Was it this guy?
That's him. That's old Tariq Aziz. And he was in there in the cage, and he was up against the mirror, and he's just brushing his mustache. He just wanted his mustache to look really good at all times, apparently.
I mean, it is a good mustache.
Yeah.
Very, very well clean. I think it's in regs, actually. So, the military, the UCMJ would approve. But was, between all the prisoners and the people that were being detained, what was probably I mean, I assume some were famous and you probably knew, but was there anyone that, like, you heard of the stuff they did and you're like, oh, that's like a real, like, prisoner. That's like a real evil guy. Like, was there anyone that really stood out to you?
Only, like, you have Chemical Ali, you have...
And you don't have to mention, I don't know if you're on, like, an NDA and you can't mention certain stuff.
No, but they, that's where they took all the bad guys. So it was like, I think when I was there for the Army, we ended up collecting a bunch of intel, and they took down the number 5 most wanted guy in Baghdad, and they brought him to the detention facility. So, like, you knew it was just full of, like, the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And probably a whole bunch of innocent people, too. Like, that's Iraq.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Nuremberg trials for Iraq in a sense. I mean, maybe not Nuremberg, I mean, but it's a criminal show, for publicity, I guess you could say. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them did deserve it, don't get me wrong, but what was the